It started with us trying to solve a couple of key challenges, penetration and durability. My buddy and I needed something that would help us knock down more elk and make better blood trails. I had a background in aerospace engineering, so we took a shot at designing a broadhead with something different, two-stage deployment. The L-shaped blade is the key. The wing blades take the initial beating, hitting the near side hair, hide, and bones, providing a minimum of 1.25 inch entry hole. The main blade opens up inside the body cavity, providing an untouched razor-sharp blade for the internal organs. This fundamental design concept is key to shooting large animals such as elk with a mechanical head. I got a call from Hank Parker one night. He was at elk camp, and someone had given him one of my heads. He loved it and wanted in, so we went into business together. That call changed everything. Hank connected us with the right people and was brilliant at product marketing, and that's when the brand took off.
So I was in Texas, and a friend of mine pulled out a broadhead called a Sonoran broadhead, developed by a guy named Rick Forrest. And I looked at that broadhead and I said, that is absolutely, without a doubt, the world's greatest broadhead. He said, how can you say that? I said, it has everything that the expandable broadheads have, except it has a 2-inch or 1.5 inch setback where you're able to take quartering shots. And then the way these wing blades work, man, it doesn't pull the broadhead. It can open individually from either side. It is the perfect broadhead. So I finally said, Rick, I want to buy your company. I want to own it. Man, this is the greatest broadhead. We could take this thing to a whole different level. I ended up partnering with Rick Forrest and become the principal owner in Swhacker Broadheads. And it just grew and grew and grew and grew. I met Keith Kelly, who had partnered up with me with Swhacker. Keith and I were doing a project together with Khmer deer, and he was doing the packaging, and we ran into a problem. It was not Keith's problem, it was my problem. But he took ownership of my problem and helped me out. And he and I, through all of that, became incredible close friends. He loves to fish, he loves to hunt, so we had so much in common. His faith and my faith, we matched to a T, and he's so trustworthy. And he's got a business where he has qualified people in every category that's necessary to fulfill everything Swhacker needs. So I said, would you be interested in becoming a part of Swhacker Broadheads? I need you so bad. And he and I joined forces. It's been an incredible relationship. It's been over 10 years now since we've been involved.
We've been in manufacturing since the early 90s. I've always loved deer hunting. When Hank and I met, we had a lot in common and quickly became friends. We started working on Swhacker and Khmer deer. The friendship turned into a partnership, and we knew this wasn't just about making another product. It was about making products that were best of class.
I'm teamed up with the best team in the country. They stand by the product. They're good at their work. We never stop engineering. We never stop trying to improve. And there's no doubt in my mind, if you look at the Swhacker story, it started because people lose so many deer with fixed blade broadheads.
We didn't come from a brand. We weren't industry insiders. We were just a couple of guys who wanted to shoot farther, shoot better, and build something that actually worked. And we weren't going to wait for permission. We get to take an idea from a solution to a challenge or a problem and turn it into something physical. We conceptualize, we prototype, and we test it ourselves, whether it's on a hunt or in a tournament.
When Levi came on board, everything changed. Levi is probably world's greatest archer. He's unbelievable. And he's shooting Swhacker because it's the greatest broadhead in the world. He said, I think we could make a Levi Morgan model and change it, put a little more sweep in the blades. I'd like to have a little more sweep in the blades. I think it'd give us a little bit more penetration. So we developed the Levi Morgan model.
I've been with Swhacker as a company for, gosh, I don't even know how many years, over 12 years, I think now. And everybody always asks me, you know, what is it that I love so much about them? And outside of the product being great, it's kind of how we get there and how I love to do things. I love building things. I'm an idea person. And so just the ability to sit in a room with all the people that can make something happen, that can bring an idea to life, is one of the things I love so much about working with the team at TAC and Swhacker. You know, kind of as an example, The 261 head, we incorporate the locked blades. I remember sitting in a meeting room just talking about how do we make the best broadhead in the world? What's needed in a broadhead? And we needed a broadhead we could practice with, because practice heads didn't always hit the same. Field points didn't always hit the same. We needed a broadhead I could lock down and shoot. We made that. I wanted curved blades for better penetration. We made that. The team really cares and wants to make the best product in the world, and it's so cool to work with a team like that.
New designs can evolve from a collaboration amongst our team members or an epiphany while driving down the road. Some of my best ideas happen while I'm sitting on the side of the mountain hunting. It's about taking ideas and beating them together and building a prototype. We put our hands on it, we beat it up some more. We do extensive field testing, and we're fortunate enough for at least one of us to get an elk tag almost every year. After we get a bull on the ground and the pictures have been taken, we shoot the fresh carcass with our prototypes. We intentionally shoot the shoulders, the spine, and other key parts to push the heads to their limits. These extreme tests flush out the design defects in a real-world environment.
Our goal is to bring new innovation to the industry, and I feel like we're doing that. Like the 207, that was the first of its kind, with 2 sets of blades where one opens inside the cavity, giving you a fresh cut. The LRP hunting system with blade line and blade lock technology is the strongest hunting arrow combination in the industry today.
Every year, we conduct a robust set of tests with our products and competitors. I'm excited about the new products we have set to hit the market next year and can't wait for you to try them.
As far as Swhacker's concerned, it's the best thing that ever happened, because you've got a guy there that has biochemists that work for him. He's got engineers, he's got scientists. Man, they never stop behind the scenes. They're constantly working to improve the product. They're constantly looking at, hey, how can we change this tip and go to a more chiseled carbide tip to make it more penetrating? How can we get the new steel to be able to take the blades to a Rockwell hardness to get them razor sharp? How can we do this? It's just a non-stop process.
How do we keep going forward? How do we keep making it better? And that's where the LRP was born. We felt that micro diameter arrows were no doubt superior shafts when it comes to hunting, but the component systems were flawed in all of them. Too many pieces going together, and the components are the most important parts, in my opinion. If you have bad components, you don't have a good arrow.
Covered in blood. This is the same arrow I shot the buck in Nebraska with. I just put a new LRP head on it. There's blood sprayed as far as you can see through this grass, so he ain't gonna be far.
And so we wanted to build the LRP system that had less moving parts, that was stronger, that wouldn't bend. We did the clocking, the first people to clock broadheads, so they're all turned exactly the same. So many innovations in that LRP system. It won silver, the best new product at ATA that year. It just makes me proud to work with a team. Even if we get some things wrong, just knowing I'm on a team that is constantly striving to be better, and that if we come up with a good idea, they're going to make it happen. Man, I love that. That gives me so much confidence to go do my job every day.
Let's look at the LRP. It started as a request from Levi for a more accurate and stronger broadhead system for micro diameter arrows. I had designed some heads for these way back before Swhacker came to be, but they weren't quite what Levi was looking for. The team had an idea that could be accomplished, but it was going to be quite heavy by industry standards. But during the collaboration, we decided that was preferable, which kickstarted the design process. From there, I was able to evolve the concepts into a viable design that was not only patentable, but it was one of the strongest micro diameter designs in the industry.
Then when we get the product, we don't just start selling it. It takes so long for something like this to come to market, because we have a great idea, we have a meeting, we make it happen, we get prototypes, and then we spend an entire season testing it. I remember being in Nebraska, the first test I put them through with the LRP system, the arrows, tack vanes, all of that. I shot a big buck like opening day in Nebraska on a river bottom, super quiet. Deer was in the sand, just a really quiet situation. A lot of deer coming off the alfalfa. I remember shooting that deer and it going through it so fast, and it killing that deer so quietly and fast that none of the other deer even knew what had happened. And I remember thinking right then, this is what makes it all worth it. You know, all that we went through to build that and to come up with that, the whole team. And this is a great product, and I couldn't wait for it to launch.
We're here at our production facilities in Covington, Georgia, where we manufacture all products for our brands, Swhacker, Tack Vanes, and Khmer Deer. Today, we're taking you behind the scenes on Swhacker production. Many broadhead manufacturers show assembled in the United States. At Swhacker, each part is manufactured right here in the U.S. and assembled and packaged right here in our own warehouses in Georgia. It may sound obvious, but accuracy is the most important outcome of a broadhead, more important than any feature or function it could possibly have. Tolerances are really important, getting each component exactly the same, so we test for weight, sharpness, fit, and everything you can imagine. One thing that seems to be underrated and is actually pretty important is the boss between the ferrule and the threads. It has to be a standard size that fits all inserts, and every one of those inserts from different manufacturers has its own set of tolerances. It has to be as snug as possible while still fitting, and that's what gives it the most strength and centricity, and how you get a Swhacker Broadhead to spin the best. For the blades, we have a U.S. partner who does an excellent job stamping our blades and consistently gets us an exceptional tolerance and very razor-sharp edges. We test each batch of blades we receive with a sharpness measuring device. We also have a U.S. partner for anodizing. What you'll find with a lot of overseas manufacturers is the bright dip anodization, which is not nearly as durable, and it's often shinier too. Our process includes hard anodization, which makes the color last longer during normal wear and tear. After anodizing, we assemble each and every broadhead by hand right here on our production line. We run through a final inspection, and then we prepare it all for packaging. Our parent company has been manufacturing for 32 years now, and they developed a strict quality control process. On the Swhacker production line, a dedicated team member completes a final QC check on our broadheads before they're packed. They check the finished goods for weight, color, complete functionality, and ensure they include all the components that particular pack of broadheads is supposed to have.
Well, we're shooting these broadheads, and every time on camera we would go back and play it back, you could hear swack, swack. And 2 or 3 guys in the room said, boy, that's Swhacker. That's Swhacker. Boy, that thing swacked him. Swack, swack. And so, man, that's what it is. It's a Swhacker.
From that first call from Hank at elk camp to now, we've never stopped pushing, and we're just getting started.
Swhacker, Tack, the whole company, I'm so proud to work with. One of the best that I've ever had a pleasure of partnering with in our industry, and hopefully we've got a lot more years to come of coming up with cool stuff and turning it out to you guys.